for those who are new, we normally record these sessions just for learning purposes, because sometimes we have people struggle with their internet, so it's a good idea to record. However, if you feel you're uncomfortable being recorded, we can request you to drop off this session. And also, we had promised in our email we would be sending out internet data reimbursement after this. So kindly shoot us an email after this, and then we'll get your data sent. Just a bit of data. That was a very good morning. So I've just put our email address in the chat box in case someone would like to drop us an email. So it's exactly 9:06, and we want to keep it strictly to time. We don't want to waste any time. The rest are going to join us along the way. My name is Joel Odota, and I'm also the director here at the Kectil Center program. The other things, as you can see on the screen about me, is I'm also a CEO. That means I have started my own company, but I am also a co-founder of an organization. I am a master's degree graduate. I'm a researcher. I'm a teacher. I have more than 5 years of work experience in Uganda and abroad. So I thought it would be good to have this session. It would be more interactive because we are all going to learn from each other, because no one is perfect in this. So that is about me. For those who are here in the house, today we are not going to use our inside toilets. We're going to be using the outside toilets. So you can pick tissues from our door, and then you can go use it. That is it. Otherwise, let's get started. And this is being recorded. But maybe before we start, does somebody have a question or anything they would like to pass across before I start? But also on the training team, I have my colleague, the ICT trainer, please. Godfrey, maybe you can introduce yourself briefly, and then we can get back to the trainees. Godfrey, are you there? I think he has fallen off. He's not in our Kampala office right now. He is in Western Uganda, so probably connection. John, can you maybe just briefly tell us something, 30 seconds, and then we move to Juliet.
Hey, thank you, the director, Kectil Uganda. My name is I'm called John Okwera. I'm a senior M&E specialist. I've worked in both development and humanitarian sectors, so I have vast experience in M&E and program management. It's glad to be here and looking forward to sharing a lot with the team. Thank you for the invite, and lots of regards to the team here.
Thank you, John, and we are really honored to have you. And we hope your vast experience is going to be really of help to the people who are joining here. ICT trainer, you seem to be back now. 30 seconds, if you don't mind. Godfrey? Okay, I think he's still muted. I think Juliet, 30 seconds, if you don't mind.
Hello, good morning. This is Juliet. I'm connecting from Lira. I'm happy to be back here once again. Thank you all.
Thanks, Juliet, and we really appreciate your interest in our training, because this is not the first time we are having you. We've had you for our ICT training, we had you for our entrepreneurship training, and we're really happy to see that you're making the most of this. I think the rest of the people don't have their microphones on. I mean, they joined as listen-only participants, so that's okay. Let me see. All right, so much as we say we have to create our own jobs, that's absolutely fine. But then some people are not really good with job creation. Personally, I'm not good with business. I've started several businesses, but I've also failed several times. I mean, that's not a reason to stop trying again. That's actually the way to go. But what I mean is, there are some people who, I mean, they are really not interested in starting businesses. They just want to work for people. And if you're one such person, I'm also one. Sometimes, actually, I would like to do both, like to work for people, but also create jobs for other people. So that's why we'll need to learn job search, and then writing CVs and cover letters, and also job interviews. Whether you are a business or you are seeking jobs, you will need a CV at some point. Even if you're a student, you also need a CV. You're an intern, you need a CV. You are a researcher, you need a CV. It is not just for jobs. It is just for everyone, you know. Even companies need CVs. Those are the profiles. So now, this session is supposed to take strictly, we're going to run 1 hour 30 minutes if we can finish all of this at once, and then we call it a day, because we initially thought we would do it up to midday, but looks like we're going to finish it even earlier. So we are going to look at the job industry in Uganda, CV writing tips to present to you good and a bad CV, what a typical CV, a 21st century CV or a job winning CV has to have. We'll also give you templates. Cover letters, we're going to write a cover letter together to a hiring manager. And then we'll go to job interviews, how to prepare for job interviews, and then what to say in a job interview. And then we are done. So after this, we're going to give you a certificate, either of attendance or of excellence. Yeah, those are the two kinds of certificates we will give. So it depends on your activity. So straight. But if you have any question at any point, please feel free to stop me, because we're here learning together, right? I hope my presentation is seen on your end. So, like I said, we want you to find a job in the end. So that's the ultimate idea. So we're going to look at the steps that you'll need, which will involve doing a CV or cleaning your current CV, writing a neat cover letter, or cleaning the one you already have. Yeah, I believe all of us have something. So we're going to look at our CVs and our cover letters, and we see what is missing or what is there and shouldn't be there. And then we can come up with a clean CV to the hiring manager. So now, just to give you a brief overview of the industry. So in Uganda, we know for sure unemployment is a big issue, and it stands at 2.5%. So that means, do you know how to get this percentage? Basically, what you do, you get the total number of people who are employed out of the total number of people the total number of people who are unemployed out of the total number of people in the workforce, I mean, people who are capable of doing some work, maybe they're 18 plus or they have a degree or a certificate or something. Then we multiply that figure by 100. Let's say there are 10 unemployed youth in Uganda. And in Uganda, we have maybe 20 people who are capable of finding jobs. So we'll say 10 out of 20, then we multiply that number by 100. So that is it. So that's the unemployment rate in Uganda. And also, something really interesting is that every year we graduate 30,000 plus people from our various universities and higher institutions of learning. However, only 10,000 of those people, only about 10,000 of those people can find jobs, or there are only 10,000 jobs, in other words, annually. So where are the 20,000? You know, so more than 50% actually of our graduates are jobless, right? So again, this is more reason for you to create your own job. So also in Uganda, for sure, you know, we are 2/3 young people. So that means if you pick 100 people right now, at least 70 of them are young people, right? They are not above 35. You can imagine. And young people drive the workforce because we are the majority. So, and youth unemployment is high in Uganda. And also, if we go gender-wise, out of 100%, you will see that 49% of the labor force is women. Yeah. So we are not going to go deep into this dynamics, but that is so you know. Jackson, you're welcome. So you need a job. No worries. Next slide. So why is there a high rate of unemployment? You know. Hey, sorry, I forgot. For those who are in the house, our Wi-Fi password has changed. You do 1 up to 9. So type 1 up to 9. So why are we seeing a high unemployment rate in Uganda? Because you know, like it's a big issue. So number one, the job market is corrupt. By corrupt, I mean there can be discrimination. There is the who you know above what you know. You know, kind of who do you know in this company? If you don't know anyone, it's going to be hard for you. Maybe you need to pay a bribe, something like that. So that's the corruption we're talking about. It's such a common thing in Uganda. So that's one reason. Then secondly, there is a mismatch between education and the industry. So we have academia on the one side, and then on the other side, we have the job market. But what we learn in schools sometimes do not really help us in the job market. For instance, we were supposed to be taught how to write CVs, how to write cover letters, how to use the computer, or how to do certain things in our respective fields. But then we end up not being able to do those, and that is what we're talking about. Or even the other one is the industry or the job market has changed, and the education system has not changed so much to meet the demands in the industry. So that means you're simply unemployable, you know, like even if you have the best grades, but then I look at your CV, your skills, and then I find you're not just the kind of person that we want, you understand? And this is what employers are fighting with. It is a big issue. Sometimes they simply cannot find somebody, you know. It's not because they wrote a wrong cover letter or they got bad grades. They have good grades, but then the skills they have simply will not help our company. And that would be a waste, you understand? So that's the mismatch we are talking about. For instance, lately we went into e-learning, but how many graduates are able to do remote working without going through a training first? And lately, nearly every job now requires you to have a computer skill. But how many graduates can operate a computer to some level, you know? That's the kind of mismatch we are talking about. And then, of course, we also lack career guidance, either from home or even at school. To be honest, if you come from a family where your parents did not really have a concrete career path, it is very unlikely to have a good career guidance from such a family. Like, I am testament of that, guys. So sometimes it's about guidance from home. Please do this course. Please concentrate on maths. But if the people around you are not established career-wise, then you end up not getting the best advice. Then the other one is from schools. We also expect teachers and educators to give you some sort of career guidance. I'm not saying they're not doing that. They're doing that for sure, but maybe it's insufficient. So you'll find people go to school, but somebody simply doesn't even know why they are in school. So that's the lack of guidance. So they end up graduating and they end up doing something they don't like, and they end up wasting money and time, and they end up not performing in the industry. So there is this, I can't do this kind of mindset in Uganda, because we think we are graduates, so we can't do certain jobs. We think we are graduates, we can't be paid certain amounts of money. And we don't really know that this is hurting the industry, like the workforce. So we tend to, most people would say, I would rather stay at home. But I don't like the I would rather stay at home statement. You need to be doing something, you know. So sometimes because we've gone through some education, we think, so that is also a big problem, you know. And we also tend to leave certain industry or certain sectors for a particular group of people. Like graduates would not want to ride boda boda. But you can ask me about boda boda. I've written a boda boda and I have a master's degree. Yeah. Sometimes you just have to be aggressive. So young people, here is to challenge you. Yeah. Then the other thing is, like I said, 30,000 plus graduates, only about 10,000 jobs. So we are not creating jobs mostly, but we are seeking jobs. So everyone is nearly everyone is seeking a job. So that's wrong. So we need to go the other direction, and we need to start businesses. We need to employ people. Yeah. So that's why we have unemployment, because everyone is graduating, thinking the next day they would walk into someone's office and find the jobs, and which jobs are actually not there. Yeah. So we're going fast. I like this. So in Uganda, where do you find jobs? Yeah. Any idea? Can somebody unmute and tell us, John, where do you find jobs? John or Jackson? Now I'm going to the J's. The other ones are only listening, so they're like listening to FM radio, so they can't, their microphones are off, but that's okay. Jackson is typing, so Jackson, where do you find jobs in Uganda? John, I also want you to tell us, either you can unmute and talk, or you can even type in the group. Where do we find jobs? Seems like we don't know. Oh, someone is saying one from the media. Is it print media? Is it digital media? Is it TV? Is it newspaper? Is it, what is it? Is it social media? Yeah, but that's true. The media plays a crucial part in the job industry, because they convey the information. They say, oh, somebody's looking for a job. So John seems not to be here, but that's okay. Next slide. So I have summarized this into two, online and offline. You find jobs both online and offline. Online, I mean on the web or over the internet. Offline, physically. That's if you want to put it into context. So online, we can find jobs on job boards. There is one called the Great Uganda Jobs. I'm going to put the links for you in the chat. Great Ugandan Jobs. And then there's another one called Brighter Monday. Those are what we call job boards. There are places where if you go online, you'll find your posts. There's also Relief Wave. Can somebody type for me another one in the chat where you can find jobs online? There is Brighter Monday, there is Great Ugandan Jobs, there is Relief Web, there is even we can find jobs on social media, on LinkedIn. And sometimes we can also go to our potential recruiters' websites. For instance, if I wanted to find a job with the Ministry of, let's say, Environment, so I'd go to the website and I would try to see. Most websites have the career section or the jobs section or the work with us section. So you go and visit such sections and see if there is anything. Or on social media, on Facebook, probably someone posts, or even you go to the pages of those potential employers and see if they posted anything. Most people also share on the social media. Then there are also recruitment agencies who may have websites. I know a few of them. Sorry, someone is saying that they have not received the link for this meeting. But you can go to the recruitment agencies. I know a few trusted ones. Now, this is very important because most of the times many people come in the market and they scam you. So that's not a good thing. So just be careful. One trusted one is called, I remember my first job was with Q Sourcing, and that is a trusted recruitment agency. And then there is another one called Future Options. Future Options is also a trusted one. Can somebody tell me another recruitment agency that they know? Please, you can unmute and talk. Recruitment agencies that you know. Yes? Okay, can you hear me now? I think you are able to hear me now. Can you? Mary Goret, you're welcome.
Thank you.
And sorry that we thought we sent the links. We are so sorry. And thanks for the reminder. Sorry, really.
That's well. Thank you.
Okay, so you just found us here. We had not gone far. We are talking about the job market in Uganda. And we already saw an overview of the industry, how many jobs there are, the challenges, and now want to see how to find jobs in Uganda. And we said there are online and offline avenues. The online ones, like you see on the screen. I hope you're able to see the screen. Can you?
Yes, I can see the screen.
Yeah, so you can read the slide quickly, but this is also being recorded, so it will be shared later. We also had a technical glitch at some point, but we are now back here. Sorry, guys. So yeah, you can find jobs both online and offline. Next slide. But feel free, if you have a question, please feel free to stop us at any point, and then we can emphasize whatever you would like emphasized. So now we need to ask ourselves now, how ready are we for jobs? If somebody said, oh, I'm offering you a job now, but do you have what it takes to be given that job, or do you deserve the job? Like I said before, sometimes the jobs are there, but we simply cannot find the right person for the job. So that is so you know. I have made a checklist of the things that you need to have to be able to get employment. Number one is you need to get the right education. Please don't get me wrong here. I don't mean you have to have completed university or anything, but you need to have the right skills. Yeah. Maybe you are a builder, you are a carpenter, you are a teacher, so you need to have the right qualification, academic wise or skills wise. Then the other thing is you need to have the tools. Of course, if you're a teacher, you need to have what tools do teachers use? I forget. Maybe today's teachers now use laptops and stuff, so probably you need one. You're an IT guy, you definitely need a laptop. You know, you're a builder, you definitely need certain tools. So that's what we are saying. And the number. Sorry guys, we had a technical issue. The computer we are using to make the presentation just blacked out, and now we're on the phone. Hope you're able to hear. Just restarting it. But yeah, on the checklist, you need to have an email address. Like, this is a must. To me, this is a must. Whether or not you are going to go for formal employment, this is a must for me. You can disagree with me, but you need to have an email address regardless. Then the other thing is, you have to look professional. Maybe the way you dress, maybe the way you present yourself. Let's say you're an artist. What's the professional look? What is the professional look for artists? If someone can tell me. Maybe you need to have your dreadlocks. I don't know, but I see it very common. So that's what I'm trying to say. You're a teacher. Maybe you need to start dressing well. Then you need to have the time to be able to get employment. Look for the jobs. You need to sit on your computer, apply. You need to go to people's offices and apply. That's what we're saying. That's just a simple checklist which I came up with for you to find employment. The next one, let's now go to CVs. There are two terms which we normally use. You guys are on mute. Juliet, okay, it's all good. So you probably heard about CVs and resumes. Can you hear me? Can somebody just confirm in the group chat? So what's a CV and what's a resume? What are the differences between the two? So you need to be careful. So I've made for you just two distinctions between the two. A resume is shorter than a CV. And a resume is a short summary of who you are in terms of where you have worked or what you want to, like what industry you'd like to work in, where you studied, and maybe your skills. And it's normally just a page. That's a resume. Now, resumes are used mainly in the US. Like in the US, mainly they would ask for a resume, something very short that talks about you. It's normally customized to the job. So that means you have to customize your resume for the different jobs. It is not the same resume that you're going to have for all. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're not loud. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for the reminder, Barbara. So that's a resume, mostly used in the US, and it's customized and it's very short. It's like a page. Now, the other one is a CV. In terms of size, a CV is bigger, normally 1 to 2 pages, and it has everything about you, where you've worked, where you've studied, your accomplishments, your skills, and it's normally between 1 and 2 pages. So now I'm going to ask you, just be honest. How long is your CV? You can type it in the chat. How long is your CV? Your current CV. How long is your current CV? I'm going to present. Okay, someone is typing. How long is your current CV? 5 pages. Wow, this is interesting. Just be honest, because we want to do something.
6 pages.
That's great. 6 pages. I want to see everyone type how many pages their resumes, their CVs are. Type it in the chat. So now I believe you know the differences between CVs and resumes, right? So I'm going to ask somebody again randomly, but I first want to see how long our CVs are. Someone is saying the voice is too low. Is it still too low? Victor? Barbara, how is the voice? Hello?
I'm okay. I'm okay. The voice is okay. Thank you.
I think the issue is probably Victor's volume.
It has again gone down.
Wow, this is serious. Is it really, really, really down? Like,
Okay, you're back now.
all right. Sorry about that. It's sometimes network issues. So someone is saying their CV is 9 pages long. Another one is saying 7 pages, 6 pages, 5. So in order, 9, 7, 6, 5. So what do we think about the length of these people's CVs? Or I would like to give them the time to tell us, how do you feel about the length of your CV? Juliet. Juliet, how do you feel about your 9-page CV?
I think my CV is too long. I need to reduce it a bit because I
Okay.
don't think the employer will have all the time to read the long CV. Thank you.
Thanks. Let me hear from Kim. Kim, your CV is 7 pages long. So how do you feel about it? You can come and use this microphone. Kim is here in the house. Kim Anderson. So how do you feel about your CV, which is 7 pages? My CV contains all. Okay, thanks, Mr. Kim Anderson. So he's absolutely happy with this 7-page CV. Let me hear Brian. Yours is 6 pages long. How do you feel about it? Brian. Okay, now to cut the story short, to be honest, if I am to hire you now, I feel absolutely bad about the size of your CVs. I don't care what is there. I don't care about your accomplishments, but I want to say that I'm sorry, I don't have the time to look at your CV because it's like a pamphlet. So that is what most employers will tell you. Can somebody in the house now? This one you're going to win a prize. Can somebody in the house tell me on average how much time do employers have to look at your CV? Like they have received 1,000 applications and they want to shortlist. Just the first round of seeing CVs, how much time do you think they have to look at your CV? If somebody gets it right, 2 minutes. Kim, okay, I give you 10 seconds. One, if you don't put the answer now or say it out, then I know you're Googling. 2, 3. Yes, John.
They have a maximum of 2 minutes on UCV.
2 minutes. Another one, Walter.
I think of 5 minutes.
Okay. Another one. So, guys, I came across a recent research that says they only have 6 seconds, not even 30 seconds. 6. And I'm like, what? And that's true. Okay, now let's say they have 60 seconds, not even 2 minutes. 2 minutes is too much. Not even 5 minutes. Sorry, Walter. Like they have, let's say they have a minute. Yeah, they have a minute. A minute. That is if they are really good, just to scan through your CV. So it's like it has come before them. They just run their eye through the first page. So now, let's say Kim Anderson has 7 pages. He's very happy that they're going to look through all of the 7 pages in 30 seconds. How possible is that? So that's absolutely impossible. So the thing is, you need to keep your CV very short. Maximum, guys, maximum 2 pages. Maximum 2 pages. So you need to go and revise. We're going to share with you CV templates, which you can fill out, because those can accommodate you 7 pages into 2. But of course, also not reducing the font. We're going to see all of the things that are required of a good CV. So just know employers don't have the time. I can tell you my experience hiring. I have run 2 hiring sessions in my life. One was to recruit sales team members. We were looking for 5. Then received more than 1,000 applications. Another one, we were looking for a cashier stroke accountant for a lab. I was the one in charge of the hiring. And then we received about 700 applications. Then the other hiring processes that I was a part of, I was only assisting. We were looking for an accounts assistant. Then our finance and admin said she received almost 2,000 applications. So guys, here we are, 7 pages, 9 pages. Just know the people don't have the time. They will not look at it. So it's time to fix something now. And then there is also another common word, which is normally said when we are talking about documents that you need to bring to the HR. One is a portfolio. This mostly is for people who are designers. Maybe you are a software engineer, you are a website developer, you are an artist, you are a musician, you are a fashion designer. So a portfolio is a visual display of your skills. It's like what somebody can see, like the tangibles, your final products that you've done so far with clients, right? If you say you're a website developer, what websites have you developed? Can you give us the links to those sites and we can see them? If you are a graphics designer, what logos have you done? Can we see them? What graphics have you done? So you can present tangibles, tangibles, so that to support your application. Maybe you're a musician, send us your audio clips and we listen to them. So it depends on the jobs that you're looking for, but normally they also ask for portfolios. So now, so far we know 3 terms in the job market to present ourselves. 1 is a cover letter, 2 is a CV, 3 is a portfolio. Now portfolios can be presented on a website. So whether you are a fashion designer, you're a musician, you're anything, you can create a website and upload all of your work so that somebody can see them. Prudence, you're welcome. Prudence can see me, welcome. So that's a portfolio. So again, ask yourself, what is your profession now? What portfolio would you have to present if somebody was to give you a job? I can tell you, if you're a trainer, how many people have you trained? What shows that you've trained some people? You need to have it. For me, when I'm training, normally I have records of my training. Either the audios are there online and I can share with them so that they can see, oh, this is a good trainer, oh, this is not a good trainer. So you need to make sure that you work on your portfolio, have something to present. And when you're organizing your portfolio, of course, you choose the best samples, the best samples to show somebody, right? Next slide. So now, let's see a job-winning CV. I have noted just a few things. I don't know if you're able to see them clearly. Those that are in the house. Walter is saying taking pictures while talking. That's absolutely fine.
Joel, your voice. Oh my goodness, I've missed a lot.
Oops. Okay, I have just reconnected to the audio, and I think we are not going to have any issues now because I've gotten rid of the external audio. I was using a microphone, so now we are using the inbuilt microphone of the computer. That doesn't go anywhere. So hopefully it's clear. I'm really sorry. I'm going to repeat this previous slide just once. The portfolio is what you have to show somebody about you. The sample of what you do. You're a musician, it's your audio or it's your video. You're a software developer, is a software that you developed and it's working, and it's like the one you're proud to show someone. You know, you're an artist. Tell us your drawings. So that's a portfolio, and I'm saying you can put your portfolio in one package. Maybe if you have a website, you can put them on the website. Thank you, Walter, that I'm loud and clear now. That's good. Sorry about the inconveniences. So 3 things now: a CV, a cover letter, a portfolio. We are going to the cover letter later, but now I believe you know what a CV is, and you can also distinguish between a CV and a resume, and you also know what should be in your CV, and you also know a portfolio, what it is, and what you need to show people. Yes. Now let's go to the job winning CVs. The CVs that will definitely let the hiring manager believe in you. Sorry. So, guys, look, when you're applying, somebody doesn't know you, right? And the only way they can know you is when they look at the papers you present, period. Someone is asking, is there a likelihood that recruiters interchange resumes and CV during the call for applications? If they do that, it's unprofessional and it's illegal, because a resume has your information and it's only supposed to be used for that purpose, and it's supposed to be destroyed after the hiring process is complete. That's why serious organizations will even send you an email and say, look, we are keeping your CV for 6 months, do you agree? And then if you say you disagree, they'll disable it or they'll remove it from the database. So if a hiring person has shared your CV or resume without your knowledge, that's illegal and it's a crime. So normally they would ask for your consent. So guys, what we are saying is a CV, if I look at your CV, I should be able to believe in you, right? So then that's why I'm saying you need to present yourself in the best way possible. That is, if you would like to be called to interviews, because there's nothing else that they will look at except just the CV and maybe the cover letter. Now, you need to have facts on your CV, true information. Then you need to use bullet points, be precise, make things clear. And we advise using Times New Roman font type, and then the point number 12 or font size 12. That's the standard. And your CV has to be just 1 to 2 pages, right? Make sure that it is clean, it is neat. You check for spellings and grammars and make sure it is the best thing that you can present to somebody and they can believe in you. So, and then you need to update it from time to time. And any questions, Miss Original? Okay, let's go ahead. Then keep sensitive information out. Now, I want to give you a few examples of the sensitive information. 1 is your age, 2 is marriage, 3 is religion, 4 is gender. Unless somebody really asks for them that I'm looking for females, then you can say, then that's a must. Like you need to, yeah. But and then if somebody says I'm looking for males, then you can say I am male. Unless somebody says I want people who are born 1990 and backwards, then you can have your age. Unless somebody says, I want Christians, then you can say, oh, I'm Christian. And then that puts Muslims, non-believers, and the other religious sects out, that kicks them out automatically. Unless somebody says, I want to see something about you, maybe your political affiliation. I want somebody from the NUP, from the NRM, from the FDC, then. So, guys, this is, people think it is controversial, but a modern CV today shouldn't really have this information. All you need to have is your name, your address, your telephone number, your email address, the contact information, period. There's a question, maybe you can you come closer here and you ask? There's a question here in the house from, you can tell us your name and then you ask. Yeah.
Marriage, gender. So this shouldn't be included in CV. Did I hear you say that?
Yeah, I say that. Yeah, someone is asking age, marriage, religion, gender shouldn't be included in the CV. I would say you should not include this in your CV. I call them sensitive. Now, age, I can be biased because maybe I'm looking for young people who are energetic, and then you are very old. You finished school in 1990, in 1985. And I would say, no, maybe I'm not going to invite this guy to interviews. So, because we are saying you have to present yourself in a way that will motivate somebody to invite you to the interview. If I'm old, but I didn't tell you my age, and then you believe in my CV, you can still make a mistake and invite me, right? Yeah. And then the interview is basically where you now defend your skills. Maybe you're old, but you're also still hardworking. Maybe you're old, but you can still do what I want the young people to do. Then I can give you the job. But now, if you put your age, and then I can, there's a way it can make the hiring manager biased. Understand? That's what we are saying. So please keep it off your CV. Marriage. Maybe I'm looking for someone who I can even call beyond 10 o'clock. Maybe there's a problem to fix in the middle of the night. You understand? So maybe I don't want somebody who is married. Maybe I'm a Christian organization and I want a counselor. Then I want somebody who is married, right? But then it doesn't mean if I am not married, I can't apply for the counselor job. I want you to invite me to the interview first, right? So unless they ask, these are very controversial issues. Religion. Religion is another controversial issue. We have Christians, we have Muslims, we have Buddhists, we have non-believers, we have African traditional religious people. You understand? Just if you say you're Christian and then I'm Muslim, I'm already offended. You say you're Christian, you're Muslim, I'm a non-believer. I'm already offended. I'm not going to call you to the interview. But you understand? You want the money from me, right? Regardless of our religious background. So keep religion off. Please, if you have a question, you ask. Gender is another controversial issue. Initially, we thought we only had males, females, but now we have what we call the transgenders. People who say, I am half male, I am half female. Or people who say, I don't want to be called female, I don't want to be called male. Or people who are straight who say, I'm male. People who are straight who say, I'm female. But you understand all of this, somebody will get offended, right? That's why that takes me to my next point when we look at cover letters. How do you address the hiring manager? Do you say dear sir? The sir is for a male, right? Do you say dear madam? But do you know if they are male? Do you know if they are female? Right? So we're going to talk about those. So currently, this is very, very important, guys. Keep this information off your CV because this can be deal breakers even before somebody calls you, before somebody sees you. You've already broken the deal, right? There's another question. Brenda, you can come. I've also seen questions in the chat. I will respond.
I've ever seen some job adverts that the organization says we are looking for a female
Cholera, institutions, they advert
and include the issue of the gender into my CV. Thank you.
Okay, she's saying there are some jobs that say females are encouraged to apply. Of course, if you're a female, you're a priority. So you want to make them know you're a female, right? You want them to put you a priority. So on your CV, mark it very big, female, right? Gender. You'll create a section of gender, and then you say female. So now, guys, that also now should take you to the point that you need to be editing your CV from time to time. But if they say female candidates are encouraged to apply and you're a boy, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't apply. Or you're a transgender, it doesn't mean you shouldn't apply, right? You should still apply. They're going to give priorities to females. But what if the females don't apply? Or what if the females don't meet the other requirements? So again, it is not just being a female that will earn some of the job, right? It is being a female and then knowing the other things in the job description. So now, there are many questions coming. There is someone in the chat, ICT team, can I present my CV in colored form or not? I would say it's absolutely fine to present your CV in colored form. However, you don't have to decorate your CV to have like a rainbow CV, understand? Like it has all of the colors in the world. It looks very romantic. CV, maybe that will put you off. I mean, that will put the hiring manager off. I don't know. Leave it to Gloria. She's in the kitchen. So that is it. You can use colored, but just keep it consistent. Don't have all of the colors in the world. Maybe just choose 2 colors, right? Maybe just your name is in blue, and then maybe the rest is just black and white. For me, I actually recommend using a uniform color, black and white. John, your hand is up, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Joel and the team. Just to reiterate on what you've shared, but I think it's also very important to note that currently most of the institutions, different organizations are now running into the web-based applications. They will just submit to you and they will share with you a link and tell you, please, if you would love to apply and you want to join us, kind of use this link to apply. But in that process, when you start, entering your details, you find that they're asking about your age. Most often time, if you happen to look at the UN application.
Hello, I think we lost you a bit. Okay.
They always categorize the age where you far. Yeah, they even go far in asking whether you're married or not. They might even go and ask your religion, the gender aspect. So we just need to be very sensitive to some of the applications we are running. So, but of course now people are appreciating ICT for development, and that's why different institutions and organizations are running through and allowing people to apply through web-based systems. But also the beauty of the CV also, I think, is also very important for us. Much as you've reiterated on the design of the CV, but to me, I would also think it's very important that we avoid too much narrative. You know, people are narrating, I did this, blah 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 blah, and if you find yourself reading. But I also think the beauty of some of these things will come into you being very creative. One, by having a table, you know, just create a simple table with different columns, and then have the summary of the things you've accomplished, you know, for the years of experiences that you have. I think that will also hold solid. And then the only relevant information. Of course, now, if you're applying for a given job, the first thing you need to look at is their requirements. What are the skills and the competencies that organization, that institution is asking for? That is basically what they're asking for from you to punch in your CV and apply, you know. But you find people even picking things that they've done some time back and is not in line with what that organization is asking. So we need to have that relevant info, but we can only back up, our CV by taking keen look at the key skill, the key competencies that very organization, that very institution, that very company is asking for. And that will all sort, and that is add value to your CV, and you'll be able to win. Even you'll be the first on the list to be, to be shortlisted. So basically, that is what I wanted to reiterate on. And yeah, thank you, and back to you, Chair.
Thanks a lot, Johnson. Actually, you've summed it up all. You've said very key information. You've talked about the format as well. Now that is my next one. The format has to be, it has to be, I wouldn't say it has to be complex. It has to be simple. It has to present you information. It has to like look good. Like I can see the information, I can read. It is the right font, which I can see. It's not too tiny. Like I said, maybe tables would also do. You can tabulate certain things. Let's say your education background. You can make a table. You say year, university, maybe degree, and if you want to put a grade also, because the CV is detailed, right? So you can put a grade maybe on the side. So that's absolutely okay. If you want to do a pie chart, that's also up to you. I mean, it's just about your creativity, but keep it simple and let us see the information you're trying to present nicely. Understand? And then only relevant info, like he said. Don't put things that do not connect to the job, and delete some other work history that do not add any value to the job you are applying for. Kim Anderson, how often do I update my CV? For as long as you are applying and for as long as you want to get a job. That's going to be my answer. But now there are also people who have very straight CVs. Let's say you are an electrician and that's all you do. You don't do anything else apart from connecting homes to electricity. So then you have a very short CV and your CV is very straightforward. But I also think that there is something unique that you would like to update and that the current employer you're seeking is looking for. Let me say maybe you are an electrician in 2000 when Yaka wasn't a thing yet. But now you are also connecting homes using the Yaka meter and you are applying today. The current employer would like to hear such, the Yaka. So you can't bring your CV of 2000 when Yaka wasn't a thing, and you've not mentioned Yaka anywhere, right? So you need to update it. It has to have something that the person who is looking for somebody to hire is going to like. You understand? This is about presenting yourself. This is about convincing me, right? Telling me that this is what I have. This is what I know, right? So you need to update it as often as possible. Now, I believe you can now tell apart the good and then the bad CV, right? So I have a sample here. Unfortunately, it's not very clear, but on your screens, I believe if you're using a phone, of course, you can just zoom in and out. If you're on a PC, there are those 4 arrows, bottom right. You can use those to zoom. So, do you think this is a good CV? Please, Brian, unmute. Not a mute. All right. So, do you think this is a good CV? It has a profile, it has experience, it has. Okay, John, can you go ahead, please?
Yeah. From my quick view, to me, I think it's a good CV. Is well designed. I like the format because there is uniformity. You would look at page 1 and page 2. They're running more like the same design. And then the font, to me, much as it's not very clear because I'm using my phone, to me, it seems is more or less close to the header from page 1 to page 2. And then the rest of the things are really summarized. I looked at the professional skills, their rating and everything, which is to me something nice. And I really, even to shortlist, much as I have not read, this will be my first person to to fall on the list. Much as I'm going to be using the 2 seconds that you've talked about. Yeah, that's it from me. Thank you, Joel.
Okay, thanks, Johnson. Johnson is saying this is a good CV. Anyone else? Just tell me good or bad. I'm going to set a poll. So I'm going to send true or false button. So on your screen, you have true or false. So tell me good or bad. Good one. If it's a good one, you say true. If it's a bad one, you say false. 3 people are saying true already. Kim Anderson, Yvette, Victor, Barbara. So guys, true or false? Is this a good CV? True or false? Because now I believe you know what to put on a CV. I believe you know them. Okay, I'm going to publish the results. 7 people have voted. So 6 people are saying this is a good CV. But for me, I have a different opinion on this. I like the format, absolutely. Like the format is absolutely fine. Like, because this format can present yourself in just a page or 2, right? That's absolutely fine. However, I think it was very wordy. It was very wordy. And then also the other thing we said we should use in our CVs, the bullet points. I don't see any bullet points because the bullet points would be straight. Employers are looking for the bullet points. They're not looking for this essay. But I really love the format. I love the format. But this person only messed out bullet points. They put their title, that is okay. Their name, that's okay. Maybe also the address would have to come also just right there on top. Maybe where they live, the telephone number, and email. So for me, I would make a mistake and invite you, but I don't think this guy. If there was another guy, maybe I would take the other guy. That would be me. This is a wordy one. The profile, for your information, is just supposed to be 1 sentence, like 1 sentence, really. It's but I like I want to agree with most of you with Johnson. Like the format is awesome. For people who would be looking for formats, of course they would invite this guy. But for people who are keen enough, they want to see some things, maybe they would say, I'll put this guy in the whitelist. Yeah, so this is overall I would say it's not a very good one. Now there is this other one. This is not they've not put their work. Okay, this is a template. This is a template. You can zoom it in and out. But for me, this would be more presentable, and I think this is also a good format. And if somebody fills it out, maybe it will come out nice. So basically, they even have a photo. That means they are very serious. Put in a bit of time. They have their contact info. They have their skills. They have rated their skills. They have these are personal skills. These are professional skills. They have their references. They have their academic. They have their hobbies. They have okay. The key things we're going to look at the key things to have on the CV. Okay, but it doesn't hurt to put a photo. But also you need to know the privacy involved in having a photo, and also the risk is that, for instance, if I hate you, if I hate the way you look, I'm not going to invite you. Yeah, so this is tricky. So the photo is really not something that counts. But if you're serious and you believe in yourself and you're true, you're not a robot. I mean, you can have it there, but it's not required. What is important is the contact information, your name, contact information, a brief profile, one sentence, where you've worked in the past. Things are in bullet points. Would love to see something like that. But the other guy's format would be better, except that is very wordy. You understand? We can share with you this kind of formats if you're interested, and then you can fill it out. Lately, I had an interview, and what the guy said to me, I mean, he didn't give me the job, but he said to me, "I loved your CV." That was like the first thing he said to me, and I was actually top of the list of people to be interviewed. He said, "I love your CV." So I can send you that CV that the guy loved. He said, "Look, you presented yourself well in the CV. Somebody is saying it's a high risk putting a photo in your CV." Yeah, I think it is risky just because privacy. And if, let's say, the person who is hiring, the person who is shortlisting, maybe doesn't like you, maybe they know you physically, and maybe you had issues with them. When they see you, when they say, "Hey, John," and this is the John I hate, they will not invite you. But then if they say John, just the name, they are not sure which John, right? So they can invite you. Maybe the next time in the interview panel, they are not there. So you understand? So it's risky. It's very risky. But if you want to take risks, that's also entirely up to you. But just be precise on your CV. The other thing I would like to say is use the bullet points, and then talk about your accomplishments. You know, don't say I was supposed to teach students. I was supposed to give them exams. Say I taught 20 students. I taught 50 students. You know, that's if already it is in the past. If it is in the present, of course, you also use the present continuous tense. So that's also very key. You've worked in 2000 and you're still saying teaching students. Say I taught students, and we want to know how many students. You understand? How many students? And if you want to go further, maybe I want to say 50 boys, 20 girls, you know, like if you want to go further, but just try to quantify things as well and try to be straightforward. Yeah. And they're interested in your achievements. Maybe you want to say, I taught 50 students, one was top in the entire region, or one was top in the entire school. Yeah, that's what somebody wants to hear. It's an achievement, right? So, and then the tense, please. Present tense for current jobs, and then past tense for your previous jobs. I think that's pretty much a CV. So the must-haves in a CV, for me, I said contact info, a brief profile, which is like a sentence, education, work, and skills. The rest, really, they are additionals that you can have. They are good to haves, but they are not a must. You understand? Even your referees, they are not a must-have. Because now sometimes they say including referees, so they will specify whether or not they want to see your referees. They will still ask you for referees in your interviews. That is if they must follow up. But in case they don't, and if you doubt your referees, don't put them. Yeah, but if you're sure these guys are going to speak highly of you, it doesn't have to even have it there, even when the hiring manager did not ask. So these are the must-haves. Let's go to the next slide. And then these are additions, maybe language skills, awards, associations, conferences, etc., references, publications, you know. So language, let's say you're going to work in Nairobi city. You know the national language in Kenya is Swahili. And now you're putting and you want somebody to really invite you, and they have emphasized knowledge of Swahili would be an added advantage. So you want to create a section for language, right? And then Swahili should actually be top, and then you can bring in your English, your Luganda, and the other languages. Say you're going to work in Doha, in Qatar. Then you want to say Arabic is my number one. And also talking about languages, it doesn't mean that you have to be fluent in it. You can say Arabic, maybe beginner, maybe intermediate, maybe advanced. So it doesn't put you off, right? If out of the people who applied, none of them have Arabic on their CV, and you have a beginner, they would rather go with you, right? If language was the major thing. Awards also, you can have it. Maybe you are the best employee of the year 2010. Maybe you are the top student in your class, the best. Maybe you want a scholarship of merit somewhere, so you can also have it there. Maybe you wrote a successful grant proposal, like something outstanding. Associations, if you're an accountant, maybe you want to say, I'm a member of the certified public accountants. you know uh, Maybe if you are, let's say, a teacher, maybe I'm a member of UNATO, the teacher association. You understand? So these are very important. If you are, I think there are memberships for every profession. If you're a medical laboratory technologist, maybe you say, I'm a member of the Uganda Allied Professions, something like that. So that means that you're serious about your profession and you're concrete in that field. That is under associations. Now, conferences, they don't really matter, but if you've attended any conferences locally or internationally and they are relevant to the job, please go ahead and mention them. And also, if you've attended any professional trainings, please also have them on your CV, but only if they are relevant to the job that you're seeking. Yes. So can we go forward? Those are the additionals. Okay, now let's go to cover letters. But before we go, can somebody just confirm that today they can now fix their CV? They can reduce their 9-page CV to a 2-page CV. And can they take the bad fruits out of the basket? And can they present the information that the hiring manager is interested in? Can somebody confirm? Okay, someone in the house is saying yes. Okay, we are going to share with you the templates that you can fill in Microsoft Office Word of what we call good CVs and good formats that you can use later. So that is it about CVs, and now we come to cover letters. A cover letter is also another means of introducing yourself. Cover letters are letters that say, that tell the hiring manager why you're writing to them, first of all, and why they should invite you to interview and why they should give you the job, right? So it's a means of introducing yourself to the hiring manager. Okay. Even we're going to share with you templates of cover letters. So now a cover letter normally has just 3 to 4 paragraphs. Standard is for, or sorry guys, there is a video. We're going to watch it at the end, a video of a CV, and then another video for cover letter. Okay. So we'll show you those in the end. So a cover letter, like I said, 3 to 4 paragraphs that tells the hiring manager, first of all, the introduction. You tell them why you're writing to them, and then in the body, the skills that you have, and then probably why you're a best fit, and then in the end, you're concluding, and then you want them to invite you to an interview. So normally they ask for the cover letter and then the CV, and sometimes also other academic documents. So we're going to see what a cover letter is and how to write one. So there's a video for cover letters. We're going to show you those in the end. But just the 4 sentences that you must have in your cover letter are this. I call them 4 sentences that will make the hiring manager invite you. And by the way, I'm also going to share with you guys this very presentation, either in video format or in PDF or in PowerPoint. So I'm writing a cover letter. Of course, I have to have my address on. It can be on the right hand side, depends on your writing style. But you can also have your address on the left, and then I want to have a date, and then I want to have the person receiving the letter also. So we will show you cover letters as well. But just in case you're not sure what we're talking about, if this is your letter, maybe there is something here, your address, and then maybe there is your date, and maybe you want to have the recipient here, right? That is one. Now the other format is you can have your address also on the left, and then you can have date and everything in the middle, and you can have the recipient just underneath. Okay, there is a space in between. Sorry. I hope you're seeing what I'm drawing, right? So there's a cover letter. We're going to see a typical cover letter as well, but I'm really interested in the paragraphs that you're going to have in your cover letter. I said 3 or 4 paragraphs. Okay, I've made these 4, and I got them from Mildwalk Academy. What they did in 2016. So paragraph number 1, but from the way we have presented our CV, before you even come to paragraph number 1, do you say dear sir, dear madam, or to whom? What do you say? Can somebody tell me? I really can't hear anything. Someone is saying dear sir stroke madam. Can someone else tell me? People who are online. Mary, go ahead. Are you hearing me now? How do you address the hiring manager? Now I have this to say. Sometimes in the advert they say address this to Mr. Joel Odota, director the Kectil program, Uganda. Please, if you know I am a sir, say dear sir, right? But this is risky, right? This is risky. So if you know me, you have to say dear Joe instead, right? And we normally address people by their first names. If my name is Kim Anderson, then my first name is Kim, right? Is it Kim or no? It is Anderson. First name. If I'm John, I'm Walter Okwanga. My first name is Walter. So you say dear Walter. You don't say dear Okwanga. Okay. So if you know the person you're addressing the letter to, please have their name and say dear somebody. You're not writing to a robot, you're writing to someone. And I will feel happy if I see the letter is customized and it's coming to me. You understand? It's coming to me. I don't want to read a letter which is a general letter written to a robot. You understand? And if you don't know the person you're writing to, but you know the organization, go to their website, look for who the HR is. Sometimes they have such information. And maybe the HR, you can even see the name. So you put Dear John, Dear Walter, because Walter is the HR. If they have not updated their website now, that's entirely up to them, right? But the hiring manager will be very happy to see that you've written to the right person. You've done first of all, you've done research, you know our company in and out. Secondly, the letter is customized to a specific person. Those are my reasons. Okay. In case you don't know the person you're writing to, you've done your background research, and you really cannot find them, then you can say, Dear hiring manager. Dear hiring manager. Son. Or at worst, you can say, Dear hiring team. But say hiring manager. Whether they are a lady, whether they are boss lady, a female, they feel comfortable being called hiring manager. But if you say dear sir or madam, you understand, that's vague. That's very general, right? That's still, it is a robot. Right? I cannot be sir. I cannot be madam. Cross out one. That's what I'm saying. And guys, it is also very ethical that you can ring. Normally, they put their telephone numbers in the advert. Call them and say, "Who to whom do we address the letter, please?" Have a name. It is very that even they will be very happy to give you such information because they know you're interested. company. They're going to tell you, please address it to Mr. Okello or to Mr. somebody. Understand? And even ask for the title. So it is name and title, which is very important when you're writing a cover letter. So now you know. Now we're going to our first paragraph. I'm writing to inquire about the opening for blah, 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 blah. Okay. You can do something like that. But the first paragraph is mainly to tell the hiring or whoever is reading the letter why you're writing. You can say, I am writing this letter following the job advert by your company that I saw on the notice board on this date, or that I saw on this website, on the Ugandan job line website, blah, blah, blah. So that is the purpose of the letter. So you can even make only 2 lines, or you can make 3 lines. Like I said, 3 paragraphs, at worst 4 paragraphs for your cover letter, and it's brief. You understand? So in your second paragraph, so now can we all do the intro paragraph? You can say, I'm writing this, or you can say, I am excited to write this letter following the recent job advert which I saw for the position of blah, blah, blah. And some organizations also care about the reference number of the jobs. So you need to quote it. Key things here is why you're writing. You're interested in the job, of course. Secondly, what job, what position? You also have to mention it. And then thirdly, is there a reference to that position? Then fourth, where did you see the advert? Is it on our website? Of course, if you saw it on that website, they'll be very happy. Oh, you're following us. On our LinkedIn, oh, following us. So for me, I go an extra mile. So if I saw it on a website, on a job board, I can even copy the link, the URL, and say, I saw on this. Then I say, refer to URL. Put it in brackets. You're being very detailed. Now, second paragraph. I would like to. I would. Okay, sorry. This is something that we copied. So now this is where you want to tell them that you're a best fit, and they should invite you. You say, I offer 10 years of experience in the education sector of Uganda, in rural and urban settings, specifically working with maybe let's say persons with disability. That's if I'm a teacher, maybe I'm writing for a job, maybe a special needs teacher, something like that. I have XXX experience in sign language, So this is now where you want to show them that you have the right skills, you have the right education as well. You can even say, I am a bachelor's degree holder, or I'm a master's graduate with 10 years of experience in the education sector of Uganda, working with various age groups, various categories of learners. And someone will be like, wow, okay, this is interesting. So you have to pull out something that they should remember you for here. If they are looking, if they say we are looking for people from top universities, and you're one, say, I am a Makerere University graduate. If they are looking for Makerere University, you understand? Okay. If you're from a top university, guys, this is it is not bragging, but this is a fact. This is, maybe you've worked for
Yes, members, good morning. I hope all is moving on well. Is there anyone with any question?
Sorry, guys.
Oh, you are back. Okay, thank you. You can take over.
So I'm using Kim Anderson. Thanks to Kim Anderson. So so the second paragraph, this is where you have to pull out something really outstanding. If they are looking for somebody who can operate a particular software, you are a software engineer. Maybe they are looking for somebody who can use a specific software. This is where you want to maybe I have 10 years of experience of using Adobe Illustrator. This is where you put it out with maybe top companies. And if there is a top company that everyone would like to hire people from, this is also where you can mention. Maybe I've worked with the United Nations. This is also where somebody will, wow, this is great. But put in mind the pros and cons of mentioning such. Maybe if it's a small company and now you're mentioning United Nations, maybe the small company will be like, so they are going to ask for a lot of money. So be careful. If it's a big job, also you need to be big, you understand? If it's a small job, also keep it small because there is what we call over qualification. So somebody will not invite you if you're overqualified. Then the third line. So in the third line, in the third paragraph, this is it is advisable that you also use bullet points in your cover letter. I don't know if you guys ever thought of this. Again, recruiters have 6 seconds to run through your CV. Maybe they have a minute to read your letter. Guys, keep it short. The long paragraphs will not help you. Make bullet points there in the middle and say, specifically, I'm good at the following. Then you put a colon and say, bullet number one, Adobe Illustrator. Bullet number two, Windows operating system, Linux, something like that. Bullet number four, I type 80 words per minute, something like that. So in 6 seconds, I've seen the skills that you have. I know you've presented them in the CV, but it doesn't hurt to repeat them there. Say specifically, I'm good at the following. Yeah. Or if you would like to refer them to your CV, you can still say, if you look at the career section of my CV, you'll see my accomplishments. Yeah. So you can make bullet points, and again, this is where you have to sell. Make those accomplishments known. Maybe you developed an application using software or using something. So this is where to present it. And then now the conclusion paragraph, which to me is also very important. And while concluding, don't forget to thank them for reading your letter and for looking at your documents because, guys, it takes a sacrifice for somebody to read your letter. You can say, thank you for the time you've taken to read through my letter. And I would like to request an interview so that we can talk further about my capability for this job or a similar job. I like to keep it open, guys, because they may have another job which is similar to maybe what you're doing now, or they think from the way you presented yourself, you're best suited for another job with their company. So if you're desperate, you can put that or a similar job. But if you're not desperate and you really want that job specifically, that's okay. Yeah. But I like to keep it open and I say for this or any other similar jobs at your company or your organization. Thank them for the time. Ask for request for an interview. And then thirdly, keep it open and say, I'm open to a similar job at your company or organization. Yes, because sometimes they use different titles for different jobs. I remember there is a job I applied for, and they said we have another job which we think you are best suited for it, because I made in my cover letter or a similar job, right? So that was it. So these are, for me, I call them the 4 sentences that will invite you to interviews. But you can also have 3 sentences. But the 3 sentences, just know the first sentence is why you are applying and what you are applying for, where did you see it, period. And then the second paragraph is going to be what do you offer, what do you have, how good are you? So this is where you talk about, I wouldn't say brag, but this is where you factually talk about the big grades that you've scored, the big achievements that you've made at the companies you've worked for, the years of experience that you have, then the skill set that you have. So you present them, but mostly emphasize your accomplishments, achievements. And finally, thank them and tell them to invite you, request them to invite you to interview. And you can now sign, and then, so we like to use sincerely, and then you sign and you put your name. I have seen people, again, this is a skill that we've trained you in the past in our ICT training. Have your digital signature, that is for online job applications. That's if you have to write a cover letter online. So then you just copy and paste your signature, because someone will be like, oh, I need to print this again, and I signed and I scan. No, you don't have to do that. We are going to make a video to show you how to do your digital signature in Microsoft Office Word. Very simple. So that is it. Any letter which is not signed, I wouldn't consider it, because that means you're not very serious. You need to sign it. And we don't want you to spend a lot of money first printing, signing, scanning. We'll show you how to do it digitally, unless you have to send a hard copy. If it is a hard copy, of course, you have to print, sign, and then you send. So that's how you do a cover letter. I think my computer is waking up now. I'm going to go back to my computer. 1 second. Okay, so while the computer restarts, okay, I think it's so we're back here. And let me see. Godfrey, can you take presenter right and you move to the next slide? Okay, great.
Is that okay now?
Yes.
Okay.
So on the screen, I have just summarized a list of tips for you. Tips that you can use to write a cover letter. Do 3 to 4 paragraphs, but if possible, stick to 3. Customize the recipient, and please avoid dear sir or madam if possible. Instead, use dear hiring manager if you must, but it doesn't hurt to make a phone call to ask the person you're writing to and just indicate their name. Have your data, that is name, address, contact information. So that is, like, I call it the header, and don't forget to also include the date when you're writing the letter. Then avoid copying from the job description. Some people like to copy words from the job description, and that is unhealthy. That shows that you're a copycat, and people don't want to hire people who copy a lot. Use your own words. If you have to paraphrase something, if there are technical words that you have to use from the cover letter, pick just that one word and then cover that word with your own words. And then the why sentence, you need to start off by writing why you're sending the letter, and also where you saw the job advert, and also the reference number of the job, if that is there. And then bring your accomplishments in the middle of the letter, and it doesn't have to use bullet points. Then I would say close your letter by saying sincerely, then you sign, then you put your name. That is it. Please sign. If you have not been signing, please do. Then keep everything brief, no long sentences, please. Okay, you can move to the next slide, Godfrey. Godfrey? Okay, great. Now, the last part of our presentation, we are not going to have a break. We're just going to do the interviews, and then we are done, guys, and then we're good to go. Is the job interview. So I call it a deal breaker, actually. Sorry, a make it or break it stage of the hiring process. In the job interview, first of all, congratulations, you've been invited to interviews. That's absolutely fine because not everyone gets to be invited. So you're here, this is what determines whether or not you take the job or they will have to move with another person. And this also determines the kind of email you're going to receive afterwards, maybe after a week. Or I've received so many regret emails. Sometimes it's because of our presentation at job interview, sometimes it's something else. But just know by the time somebody invited you to interviews, they had already believed in you. So now it was your task to just make them keep that hope in you through the kind of responses that you give them. Sometimes you respond so well, but maybe the money you ask, yes, maybe it is too small or it is too much. Yeah. If you ask too small, someone is saying, what? Too small? Yeah, sometimes if you ask for too small, they think what you presented is a lie because a professional in that field deserves something, you understand? So you have to put a price tag. Yeah?
Okay, I have a concern, like if it comes to a salary specification, how much should we say? Because
We can't hear you, please.
Kim, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it is loud and clear.
Okay, sorry. So, but I hope you heard Brenda's question about salary. So, guys, I have to say 3 things about salaries. Number 1, do your homework. If you have people who are working in the company, call them, ask them, do you have any idea how much person in this position earns? Okot, please mute. We are enjoying your music, but mute for now. Godfrey, help me mute him. You have the admin, right? Okay. Okay. So, do your homework, call somebody at the company, ask them how much money people in such positions would earn. And then you can ask for a reasonable, you can ask a bit plus or a bit minus, you know. But again, you cannot ask for exact. I mean, it doesn't hurt if you ask for the exact. That's also fine. But do your homework. And if it's an organization that you don't have anybody working with, go online and ask, type that position and see how much do, let's say, primary school teachers, how much do primary school teachers in Uganda earn? Then you will get something on Google, right? That is general. That is if you have to go general. There are also websites. There is Indeed.com, where people also write about companies, their reviews, and they also put salaries there. So just do your homework and then ask something reasonable, right? And the other thing is, keep it to be a range. Don't say I'm looking for strictly 1 million or 3 million. Maybe say between 3 and 5. Between 2 and 4, that's also okay, unless they insist that please mention a figure. Just mention one salary figure, then a fixed one. Then maybe you can say, guys, I want 5, or guys, I want this. Yeah. And the other thing is, don't forget to say negotiable. Don't forget to say negotiable, because if they have more, then you, of course, you can't refuse if they're giving you more. Have you ever done a job interview where you ask for lower and then they ended up giving you more? At least I know people who are like that. Yeah. So be reasonable and say negotiable. I'm open to negotiations, guys. And then that is it. The negotiation can be up or down, right? You can even say, guys, you give me lower than this. Oh, no, but that would be too unserious of you. People would always want more, right? And one trick, employers normally keep a 15% plus just as a reserve. But 90% of the people who get interviewed don't negotiate salaries. If they say, guy, we have 1 million for you, ask them, say, are we open to negotiation? Yes. Just say, I would be very happy if you give me 1.2. Just know they have a 15% extra on every price. So if you don't claim it, they'll keep it. And now it's worse for private companies. Private companies, they will even tell you that salaries are confidential. Don't tell a colleague. Because I remember when they said to me, don't tell your colleagues. I said, this is serious. So so those are some of the tricks for salary. First of all, you need to have your value, attach a price for the skills that you have. And also you need to justify in the interview why they should give you that amount. Justify it. You see, when in budgeting, there's what we call a budget narrative. We explain why are we buying this, you know. So if you can also just break down why you want 10 million, you say, 10 million, I'm going to buy a computer, I'm going to buy software, I'm going to save this. Also specify to them if that's a net or if that's a gross. The gross one is that lump sum that comes, but then it has to undergo deductions like NSSF, like pay as you earn. Yeah. So you may be surprised that your salary is 3 million, but then you end up getting 1.9 because the rest is going to deductions. NSSF is probably taking 400,000. The government is taking maybe, I don't know if it's is it 30%. It is also very high. If you go to the job market, you will understand what we are talking about. It is crazy. So that's about salaries. So guys, what is an interview? Go to the next slide, please, Godfrey. Okay. Here's a video. I'm going to play this video afterwards. Please stick around and you watch this video. It's very, very important. And also there's another video for the cover letter. Also stick around. We'll play it here. It's very, very important. Next slide. So I'm preparing for interviews. So there are things that you need to know prepare. You need to prepare. If you don't prepare, I was invited for an interview once, and then the guy simply said, man, I think you're not ready for the interview." I said, "That was very rude of you, man." I said, it's okay, maybe another time. So they aborted the interview, and I felt bad, and for sure I didn't even know the job. I can't even remember. I said, "Sorry." Yeah. I said, "I'm sorry, but that's not who I am." He was very, very interested in me, and he went to my LinkedIn and he even friended me already on LinkedIn. I said, "Now look, what did I just do to myself?" It was because I didn't prepare. So there are certain things that you need to do, guys. Go to next slide, and I'll tell you the things you need. Go to next. That's the video for preparation. We'll play that video. Oh, let me play that video right away because I think don't have. I'm going to play the video. 1 second, just for the job interview. Please watch it. Job interview. It's coming. It's coming. Start to finish. So it will play on your screens. Don't worry. Our technology is sufficient. Let's watch this video, and then we'll come back here. Please watch it. Very, very important. There you go. Start to finish, I'll be sprinkling in a mix of tips about body language, etiquette, and how to answer common questions. Like when exactly? How do you deal with nerves? For years, athletes have used science and data analysis to improve. Now, we are doing the same for job seekers everywhere. This is Job Science. Meet Anya, a recent grad majoring in business administration. She's interviewing for an entry-level project management position. Note her posture. Head up, shoulders pulled back, no slouching, and no laid backness. The interview begins the minute you walk into the building. Anya treats everyone in the office with respect while keeping eye contact. From security personnel to receptionists, anyone you run into on your way in could be asked to give feedback on you. It's normal to be nervous. When nerves kick in, the natural human response is to take short breaths and breathe faster. Stay calm by taking a deep breath before entering. Hold it, count to 3, and then slowly breathe out. I want to explain it later. First, ace those introductions. Greet everyone in a way that is authentic to you, like, "Hey, nice to meet you," and then say their name. That one always works. You're more likely to remember their name if you say it out loud when you first meet. A lot of the time, small talk comes up before any questions. It's good to have a few current events or topics in mind. You can't So that was actually the interview itself, but I want to play another short video that is now going to be on preparing for the interview. That was an interview that you watched. So stick around again for 2 minutes, and then we'll just call it a day. So I hope that was clear. I'm going to play this very short one now. Yeah, interview tips. It's coming. It's coming your way. Let's watch this. Walter, you have something to say?
So today, in this video, we're going to talk about how you can best prepare for your next interview.
Someone raising a hand. Walter, can you unmute? Can you hear me?
So today, in this video, we're going to talk about how you can best prepare for your next interview. And be sure to stick around until the end of the video, where we're going to cover an important tip that most people forget about. It's a small step that can have a really big payoff. Let's
Um, watch videos with you, but show you a few show you things that you need to prepare for your interviews. Number one, you need to do research on company, and you need to know the company in and out by the time you go to the interview. Know who they are, what they do, the team that are doing right now, or what people say about them. If you don't know this, you can't go for the interview, and they can easily tell you story. You have to be prepared. So do your research. Secondly, do research on the role applying for with the company. What do the current people who are serving that role do? What are their challenges? What projects have they delivered? And how do you think you could join such a team and even make it better? You know, so know the role, what is required of you, how you can deliver, how you can report, and try to look at yourself and make sure that you align yourself well with the requirements and then what is expected of you. That is number two. And number three, you need to prepare a list of questions, like you saw in the other video. Prepare a list of questions to ask the hiring manager. To be honest, if you don't ask, sometimes they think that you're not very serious about the job. I'll tell you what questions to ask. Maybe you shouldn't ask so much about money. Maybe when is my first salary? When is my first leave? Yes, sir. So they automatically know that you're lazy, or maybe what happens if somebody doesn't make it to work tomorrow? Like yesterday, we were looking for a security guard. Someone I know was looking for a security guard. Then the guy was asking me. He said, "Do I have a room in the house?" And I said, "Actually, we laughed and we said, look, Adaskari doesn't have a room. They don't sleep." Yeah. So we said, dude, you're not sleeping, but you have a small resting place at the gate. But to be honest, we wouldn't take that guy because that guy was looking for comfort. The next thing he could ask could be a bed, a mosquito net, those kind of things. So just know the questions to ask. Don't ask so much about money. Actually, don't ask anything about money because they will think you're money minded, and don't show that you're lazy. Ask maybe questions like, um, who do I report to? Where are they now? How do I report? Is it email? Do I have a template? Those kind of things. Put yourself like you've already been given the job. When what is my first assignment? When is my first day in office? Those kind of things, so they know this is somebody interested, and ask about the job. Maybe I saw on your website you have this current project, and I saw it's now at 50%. So when do you hope this is going to be done, and how can I be of help? If I join. So now I'm telling you the tricks. Now I'm telling you the tricks, and don't don't go without asking a question. Don't say, for now I don't have a question. Ask until they say, hey, we have to stop. Understand? Again, tell them that if anything comes to mind, I'm still going to send you an email, right? That is a serious employee. uh, and you need to prepare those questions. And then the other thing is also dress well. Dress according to the weather, of course. You're a teacher, you don't want to go in your dreadlocks. Dress according to what society calls moral for that interview. I don't have any standard dressing code because dressing code is very diverse. Especially, I don't know dress codes for ladies, but for gents, maybe if you're going for an interview and it's like an office kind of a job, maybe you go business casual. You can have a suit if you want, but you can also just have a decent shirt and tuck it in. Normally, people prefer black down and white on top. Not many colors. You're going in a rainbow. No, it doesn't. No. So, and yeah, just dress well. You know what dressing well means. Not too much again, and not too bad, not too good, because you're not going to challenge your boss. Just keep it average, but show that you're decent. Maybe if you have beards, trim them well. I remember that interview where I asked for 3 million. I had not trimmed my beard because a day before to my interview I was supposed to trim, and there was no electricity in the neighborhood. I said, oh my god, but let me go. I carried so this is preparation. I carried a shoe brush just to run in the toilet quickly and do my beard. But that is not that is not a nice one, guys. So that is dressing. Then the other thing you need to also have some confidence. If you're not good with public speaking, maybe you might consider practicing with a friend at home. Maybe you can also talk to the mirror and just see how you smile. Of course, you're not going there to smile, but just try to be serious about whatever you say, and don't laugh when you talk, and practice it a few times, and try to be brief and brief to the points. And also the other tip is try to brainstorm potential questions that they may ask. It's a teaching job. Definitely you cannot talk about how are the roads if I'm driving. You talk about maybe teaching aid, how to do a lesson plan, those kind of things. So they will ask you definitely things around there. How do you handle very tough students, those kind of things. So just try to brainstorm, come up with a list of 10 questions that you think they'll ask you, and then just try to do those. And then what is the other thing that I forgot? Also go back to your application and keep that CV, keep that cover letter, read it again, and just make sure that whatever you're going to say at the interview is consistent with what you're going to tell them. Yeah. You don't mention, don't contradict yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. Keep the consistency, because then people will think that you're lying. The other thing is, if you have online profiles like LinkedIn, maybe just keep them updated before your interview. Make sure that they are not seeing that what you have on your CV is different, so you keep them the same and up to date. And practice your English if that is the language of for the interview, and just have some words that you're going to use. Some strong words that you're going to use. I'm not saying vocabularies, but just how to respond to every question, and try to use words from the industry. It is teaching. We are talking about lesson plans, schemes of work, teaching aid, maybe difficult students, those kind of things. You cannot talk about a software, no, if it is not. So use, be conversant with the words from the industry. Basically, I think that's what you need. And now you're here with the panel. From the other first video, they said eye contact, but no, greetings first. You need to greet people and also just show them that you cannot walk into people's offices without asking. So it's a good idea to knock. That's just a very normal one, as long as you're here in Africa. So that's how we do it. So you knock and let somebody invite you. Don't be too shy, and don't show them that you're not shy. You're very confident. Just keep it moderate and greet them. I'm not saying you should hug them or give them a peck. No, no, because you might offend someone, right? There's a Muslim there and you want to go and hug them, you know, and because or you want to give somebody a peck. Maybe that's your culture. No, just say hi. Greet everyone. Hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Period. That's just the casual way. And be confident at the interview. And like somebody said, if you're fired a question, you can take a deep breath just so you can gain the confidence. And one thing you need to know is this is a conversation. You understand? Don't let it be. Actually, they expect to hear from you more, so you should be ready to talk. And also just keep the conversation going, and don't let there be a gap. And if you're not had something, well, you can say, I beg your pardon, please, and be polite. Use the words like, please, can I have a seat? Even you can ask, may I sit, please? If you've greeted them and no one is saying you should sit, but you're supposed to sit. May I have a seat, please? That's absolutely fine. And use such polite words, please. Oh, thank you. Oh, this is awesome. Oh, I don't mind. Okay, this is great. Like, keep it active and keep it real. The other thing at the interview, like from the video, also don't talk about your past employers too much, like blaming them, but talk about how you turn things around. You understand? This was the problem at my past work, and this is what I did to get them out of the problem. You know, and the salary bit, we already talked about it. That is if they ask. But don't make sure it is like the number one on your list of things to ask. No. Make them know this is where you're coming to grow with them. You know, like mostly employers would want somebody who will come and stay, not come and go. You understand? So and tell them you're open to learning, and you also respect diversity, because you're going to be. Don't now show them I'm Christian, this is Muslim, this is non-believer, so how are we going to work? Oh, no way. They want people who can respect cultures and people who are willing to learn as well. So I think these are just the tips for interviews. After you've done your interview, don't forget to thank them for the time they've had with you for the interview. And after you've thanked them just verbally, also you need to send them an email just to thank them and then say, I'm looking forward to the next steps in this hiring process. That's actually what I did for most of my interviews. And people will think that, you're open to employment and you're ready to start as soon as possible. Also, very important is to keep time when you're going for an interview, a physical one. Uh, and I remember my recent one. I was supposed to be interviewed 8 o'clock in a coffee shop. I was there at 7:30, but I just wanted to let that guy know that I was already there. So I just shot him an email and said, "Hey, I'm already here, sitting in this part of the coffee shop. In case you're looking for me." So that email, I know it went at 7:30. So that was the trick, just to let them know you are there early. So first thing when he came, he was very impressed. He was like, "Wow, this is not our African thing." I say, "Yeah, I am good with time." Yeah. So just keep it on time. Shoot them that email. You can even ring them. And if you have a business card, you can still also give them. And if you'd like to ask for a business card, that's also absolutely fine. Now, for interviews that happen online, now, this is where the challenge has mostly been. Um, Sometimes people are not conversant with some of the platforms, Zoom, Google Meet, Teams, stuff. So again, all of the other steps for preparation count. You need to try things out, download things ahead of time, and try with a friend, and make sure everything works. Make sure that you have stable internet, because without the internet, that's already, you're knocking yourself out. Even they will tell you, if you can't keep time and if your internet is not stable, guys, that's because mostly even they will ask you to work online. So how are you going to do it if you can't even interview online? How are you going to work online? So these are the steps, and thank you so much for listening. I'm going to send you guys a video link to all of the three videos, I think, and all of the templates. And for those that are attended online, please send us an email with your mobile. Is it mobile money or mobile phone number, and we will send you internet data reimbursement, a small reimbursement. We hope you will appreciate that, and we are looking forward to helping you. Um, John, thanks for your email. Could you just send us an email, John, because crypto.uganda@gmail.com and ccjo.at So CC me. Yeah, so we've come to the end. Thank you. Unless there is a question, I appreciate your time, and it was a marathon, but we hope this would help you. And it's recorded. We'll share the recording with you immediately. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks, everyone. And enjoy your weekend. We hope this was helpful. If you have a question, please ask. Otherwise, we will officially close at 11:25. So the floor is yours.
Thank you, and thank you for mentoring us, and thank you for this great training. Yeah, we're looking forward to much, much more. Thank you to Kectil.
We appreciate. And guys, if you know any young people out there who might benefit from this kind of trainings, please get them our way and let them shoot us emails. Then we can help them. I appreciate the people who've been there from the very beginning, just supporting, gaining knowledge and sacrificing. This has been really appreciated. So, thank you. We are ending at 11:25. So in 1 minute, if there's no question, then I assume all is good. We'll get certificates for all of you guys. Again, we'll send you an email. You give us feedback on the training, and then we'll give you a certificate in the end. Yes. Thank you, Walter. Entrepreneurship certificate. Walter, we're going to look into your issue. I think there was a problem. I think the emails didn't go, so we'll get all of your certificates. I can't promise, but by this weekend, by the end of this weekend, for those that attended the entrepreneurship training. But I believe for ICT, you guys all received your certificates. Again, now we are entering into another mode of the learning, so it's going to be mentorship. We'll be checking with all of you again, because we are not just about certificates, we are not about lecturing, we are about how you are applying it. And please ask for this training. Ask. You have an interview tomorrow, don't hesitate to give me a call, and we can talk about how to prepare you fully for the interview. Masaba Samuel, please speak. You can unmute and speak. Your hand is up. Masaba. I think Masaba has a problem with his audio. Otherwise, guys, it's exactly 11:25. This the time we would like to end. For online guys, thank you for joining, and wait for your data, mobile data reimbursement. And for the physical guys, we are still here, and yeah, we'll keep you posted on our next trainings. And yeah, recordings are going to be on YouTube very soon. And please go and subscribe, and please like and share what we post on social media. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Please. Walter, your hand is up. Do you want to say something? Otherwise, I'm officially ending the call and I'm stopping the recording.